Good morning, everybody, and wow, that was a great introduction, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to be your new head women's basketball coach here. As you can imagine, it has been a fun ride. Obviously, we are March, currently right now, and in college basketball, it's March Madness. So for me, you can imagine what madness is for me and my family, but I could not ask for a better situation for us, because this is unbelievably a special place, right? And I'm leaving a special place in Louisville. You know, we currently right now, we'll find out tonight what will be ranked, because I have to finish that job. But they know, I had a hard talk with my team yesterday, that, you know, I never had in mind that I wanted to leave somewhere, but, you know, Mississippi State called. And when you have a great opportunity in front of you, you don't wait. And I jumped on it, and here I sit today and excited to talk about the future of our program and anything that might come our way. So I'm open for questions and look forward to getting to know each one of you.
Raise your hand, and then Kelly will get a mic to you, so Coach can help familiarize himself with you all. If you don't mind saying your name and your affiliation before you ask a question, we'll start off with Robbie Paul.
Hey Sam, Robbie Falk with 247 Sports and Starkville Daily News. I talked to Jeff Walls yesterday, and he just mentioned, you know, you've been there for almost a decade, and you've had opportunities, but you were waiting for the right fit.
Right.
What made Mississippi State the right fit?
Well, it's the people, right? I'm from Dalton, Georgia. I've had an unbelievable coaching career where I've gone to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma for 2 years, Georgia Tech for 6, and then Louisville at 9. And the reason I was able to move up in this business is because I was with the right people. So obviously, getting to know John and his unbelievable staff, and then just when we played Mississippi State in 2018, right, in the Final Four, I would say I was on the other end of that hard loss, and it's funny how the good Lord works. You know, where I'm playing Mississippi State, and look at me now, I'm the head coach. But I'll never forget that moment where we're at the Final Four, and the fan base and the alums, and you could just, you know, as a coach, you're trying to get your team right. And then just to feel that energy on the other side from Mississippi State was impressive. So again, when this opportunity came, it was a no-brainer, because my heart is in the SEC. I'm an Auburn grad, obviously, so I had my coaching career and opportunities. I came here a long time ago. My family is from the South, so it just checked all the boxes, and it was a no-brainer in all aspects of my life, not just basketball. So I'm excited to move my family when we can and get down here and meet as many people and get this thing back rocking.
Sam, John Sokoloff at WCBI TV. What do you think of Starkville so far, man? I know you haven't been here that long, but what's your kind of first impression?
Well, I know this. I need to start working out, because there's a lot of good places to eat, okay? Me and my wife had that talk this morning, so that's one of my big concerns. I might have to wake up a little earlier and start running. So, again, we can't wait to just take in everything, right? I'm a big relationship person, so every handshake I have, every person I meet, it matters. And the way I'm going to go about this as the head coach at Mississippi State is I'm going to take it one day at a time. And if we do it right, one day at a time, then I'm confident in the success that we'll have at the end. So I just ask everybody to give me time, right? The staff, administration here at Mississippi State has been phenomenal, because again, I'm leaving a good situation, right? And again, there's some special young women that I recruited from all over the world, as you can imagine, as assistant coach, that I had to have a hard conversation yesterday and say, hey, unfortunately, you know, I'm gonna have to leave you. We're not gonna be able to ride this out. But I can't tell you how excited they were for me. There's a lot of social media posts from my players that were like, hey, Mississippi State, y'all got a good one. And I texted all of them last night telling them how much that means to me. You know, again, just relationships are everything, and I can't wait to meet everybody.
And John Cohen was talking about your recruiting and how good of a job you've done with that. What do you think you've learned that's helped you the most in your time at Louisville, that's kind of helped you in recruiting, and how do you think that's going to translate for you as a head coach here?
Yeah, well, my time at Louisville was a huge part of my life, right? I think what makes me a good recruiter is I'm just real. I'm just a normal guy, right? I mean, obviously I understand the magnitude of being a head coach, right? And what comes with that. And a lot of times when I look growing in this profession, you know, there's coaches that come across like they're just different, right? And the one thing I always hope is I never change as a person. And that's why I think I can relate to a lot of people. My path and where I've been all over the country allows me to open doors because of relationships, and I can understand where people come from. And when they get to know me, and especially now that I'm a girl dad of 3, not only am I a coach, but parents can have a trust factor with me that I truly will take care of their daughter because I'm gonna treat them just like I do my own 3 kids. And we're gonna have good times and we're gonna have bad times. But if we work together, then it's gonna be a lot of good times, so.
Have you had a chance to talk with any of the current members of Mississippi State just yet?
Oh yeah, I got a phone list. Again, we mentioned when I started, this is March Madness, right? So I was at it, as you can imagine, and again, I can't say enough about the people here at Mississippi State for allowing this timeline to happen for me, right? Because I want to do it professionally and do it right. So I was able to talk to my team today, or our team at Louisville. We had to have practice at 10:30, right? And I have a phenomenal boss that I'm leading in Jeff Walls, who I can't say enough good things, but there was a way we needed to do it, right, when this went down. So we needed to have practice before we had to talk. We had a great practice. We talked to the kids, had a great understanding. I stayed an hour afterwards just to, make sure we're good and we're gonna be in good hands, and I'll come back and finish it. But then I got to go down here because there's some special people that I can really impact and make a difference. And then after that, I got down here. We had an unbelievable day of press, and throughout that, I got a phone list, and I was on it right away. And I stayed up till I think about 12 o'clock trying to get as many as I could through text messages and phones. And as you can imagine, the same message I'm giving to you all, I just said, give me, work with me and give me time. And also just let me get an opportunity to tell you who I am as a person, right? As a head coach and with players, the reason I've had success is trust. And I know I have to earn their trust, and that's my job, even though I'll go back here tonight and celebrate with Louisville as we find out who we play tonight. I promise you I'm going to be working for Mississippi State and staying in touch with those players every day to make sure they know when I come back, it's on, and it's going to be a joy ride that we'll never forget.
Also, you've coached with some Hall of Famers, and you've been around Hall of Famers, and been around Joe Champy a lot as well. What have you taken from those coaches, and what would you say would be your particular coaching style?
Again, and this is the big reason I'm here at Mississippi State. It's people, right? Each one of those head coaches that are Hall of Famers I've got a chance to work with did it a different way. That alone makes me confident, right? I never just take anything if I'm not confident in my ability. So by being able to work with so many different coaches who did it right, I feel prepared for this opportunity, forever how this roster develops, and give me an opportunity to be successful. And then from there, again, if you hire the right people that you thoroughly enjoy working with, and you all are on the same mission, it's fun what you can accomplish together as a team. And again, I can't say nothing about this community, the people who live here, and especially being the head women's basketball coach in Mississippi State. You know what? Women's basketball matters here, and that was another big deal. And I look forward to getting that arena sold out, and we're going to be rocking it out and having memories that we'll never forget. And that's my goal.
Sam, Steve Robertson with Gene's Page, 247 Sports. You mentioned 2018, and you've seen what this fan base can do.
Right.
Close. It's slipped a little bit the last couple of years. What is your plan to get Mississippi State back to that level?
Yeah, great question. Again, I kind of referenced it earlier. It's one day at a time, right? There's no super speed up, right? I've got to make sure the foundation's right, which I worked on last night. Making sure these players understand who is your head coach. Obviously, you didn't come here for me, but I came here for you. And that's where we'll start, right? And whatever comes our way, if we can work together as a team, right? We're going to have highs, all right? That's what I tell every parent when I go in the home visit. I don't want to sugarcoat and say, hey, it's going to be an easy roller coaster, right? But if you can trust me and know I have the best interest for everybody in this program and we can work together, then success will take care of itself.
And you mentioned your staff. Obviously, it's a little different situation with a sitting head coach bringing the staff with them. You've got to build the staff. Where are you in that process, and what are your expectations for that?
Well, after this first pitch, that I no pressure. John said I was throwing 98, so I might have to take the jacket off. But But no, we're on it. You know, I've got a plan, and that's what I told the players last night. You know, I think they got the ones I talked to have a flavor for who I am, right? They've done the research. I asked them to call about me, right? Talk to former players I've coached, because again, trust is everything for me. I'm never going to paint a picture of who I am not. I think my past history speaks for itself. So that's kind of where we've been. And again, I just want people who want to be here, right? I'm never a coach or a person that lives life to trick people or paint a picture that's not, right? I'm always going to paint the truth. And again, if you're hard and you have 2 feet, because this community is all about blue collar, and that's what I love. This is hardworking people here, and I'm a hardworking man. And again, if you're about the right things and about the right mission, that's who I want here. And so that's what I look forward as we keep moving on to see where this goes and what we can do.
You kind of touched on this before with Robbie, but I mean, there's a lot of really good players here, good talent from last year that I'm sure you really would want to stick around. I mean, what are you going to kind of tell those players in an attempt to kind of keep them around? I know you just mentioned you want people here that want to be here, but what's that process going to be like?
Well, the best thing of taking this job, especially here locally in state, is they know Mississippi State, right? So I don't have to come in and say anything. This place is special, and they know that. Now, hopefully, they know they got a special coach, right? That's energetic. I think there's a lot of things that go in my favor of where I'm at in my coaching career. I can relate to players, right? I'm not a coach who's coming in here who's on the back end that is looking for a retirement job. My wife's family is right down the road. My family lives in Florida. So I plan to stay here a long time, right? So that message is going to be crystal clear in the recruiting process. And again, it's just who I've coached, what I've done, right? And then my connections from where I've been, I've had a lot of good connections across the country. Again, I mentioned I coached at Tulsa, Georgia Tech, and Louisville, so you can imagine the young women that we've been able. So I'm just gonna, use those connections I have and let's see who fits here, right? I know a lot of time in recruiting, people get caught up in ranking numbers. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not. Because again, I want people who understand how special this place is to go to school and how special this fan base is, and that want to work every day. And if they check those boxes, then that's the right fit for me, and that's who I want to try to bring in.
Kind of expanding on that a little bit, what have you seen from this roster when you saw them on film, the skill sets and everything that you saw from whatever film you watched?
Yeah.
What do you like about what you could be bringing back?
Well, obviously, it's the timeline. Our season ended as this transpired, and I knew, I really had a good shot. First tape I watched was their game in the SEC tournament versus Kentucky. Obviously, I'm familiar with Kentucky at Louisville, as everybody can imagine, who I played. So that was a great reference point for me to evaluate immediately. And if you all remember that game, they're up in the second quarter. And I sat there, my wife was beside me, and I'll never forget, and she was like, "Your leg's shaking." And I was like, "Yeah." Because when I'm watching them, I see a lot of blue-collar, hard-working individuals that was neck to neck early in that first half with the eventual SEC champions, tournament champions. So for me, that just even got me more excited about what I'm being able to coach and get to work with. So I can't tell you enough like how fired up once my season at Louisville ends. And then get here and get on the court and let's really get to work.
Any other questions for Coach?